Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you a simple way of tracking your college classes and reading in Tana. I recorded this a while ago, way before Tana was in early access, as a response to a question in Tana's Slack community. So if I'm talking about you and addressing someone directly, it's the person I recorded this for in the Slack. And the reason I'm sharing this with you now is that I think it's an interesting look into how to take something, just an area of your life that you want to track and have inside Tana, and kind of think about it and model it in a way in Tana that makes it useful and easy to approach. So this is basically unedited footage of me thinking live about how to take college classes and readings and turn them into a workflow in Tana. Again, it's from before early access, so things might look a little bit different, but the broad principles still apply, and I think you'll enjoy. So let's jump right into it, and I'll see you on the other side. So I'm starting here on a completely empty workspace, just so it doesn't conflict with stuff I have in mind, but obviously everything I'm going to do should work in your personal workspace, right? Like there's nothing magic to this. So yeah, I'm just going to get into it, and hopefully this is useful. So I think I would start with the concentrations. So you have, let's do this in bold, criminal justice, you have psychology, Sci, and you have writing, WRTG. And let me move those. Let me move that not down here, let me move that down here. All right, so these are your concentrations as you posted them, right? So what I would do is I would create a tag concentration, and then I would edit this. And here in the screenshot you posted, you have a table where you have these concentrations listed and an advisor, right, for each concentration. So I would probably create here a field advisor, right? And then I would make this here a instance of a field of a tag professor, right? So we have Damon Bullock, and he's a professor. So let's go here and give him a tag professor, and then we do Heather Steinman, and she is a professor too. All right, so we have Damon Bullock and we have Heather Steinman, and then we are going to configure the advisor field to be an instance of professor. Whoop, that was wrong. What we want is at professor. All right, so now what's going to happen is that if I go down here, I can select, okay, writing, the advisor is Heather, and for CJS we have Damon, right? And now what I can do is a list of concentrations, and I'm going to make this a query, and I want to find items with the tag concentration. And boom, I have here all the concentrations, and I'm going to show these as a table, and I have a table with the concentrations and advisor, and of course any other field that you want to have for them would appear here as well, right? So that's the way I would approach the concentration stuff. And what I would probably also do is call this just concentrations and put it, how do I do that again? Demo workspace, that's what I have to do. Concentrations, and this is done because I don't need to do this. Right, that's just the way to do it. And I'm going to delete that one. And that way, if I click here in the sidebar, I'm always going to get to my table with the concentrations, right? Okay, so that's the concentrations down. Then we have assignments. Right, let's do assignments next. You have critique your classmates' second stories, and this is an assignment, and this assignment has a field complete, and it has a field due date, and it has a field class. All right, so we have classes. Yeah, let's do, actually, before we do assignments, let's do classes. So we're going top down, right? We have concentrations. In the concentrations, we have classes, and in each class, we have assignments. Makes kind of sense to me. So then we have writing 512, twisted line, literary journal. Then we have writing 519, which is advanced composition. We have writing 545, writing fiction, and we have writing 515, publishing. And all of these are classes. Class, and tag class. Cool. So what do classes have? Classes have a field in your screenshot that are professor. We have professors, and we're going to make these again instances of professors. Cool. Then we have required reading. We have recommended reading. We have a semester. We have hours, and we have a grade. Cool. So grade is going to be a number, I would guess. We have hours are a number as well. then the semester, we could, I think I would do this as fixed options. So we have 2022 spring, we have 2021 fall, 2022 fall. Right, that's it. So much. Let's do. Is that chronological? I'm not in the US. I hope this is correct. All right. So we have semesters, fixed option list, recommended reading, and here we could. You probably have cases where you have multiples, so we're not going to make these fixed fields, and we have professor, right? So let's see how this works. Here, writing is done by Heather Steinman, and advanced composition is also Heather Steinman. Right, so writing fiction is done by someone else, and that is Mark 0, and we're going to tag him as a professor in line. And then we have publishing, that is done by Heather Steinman as well. Cool. So then we have required reading, so we're going to create that next. So I'll be Gone in the Dark is a book, and then that goes into advanced composition. So we do required reading is I'll Be Gone in the Dark, and for writing fiction we have some recommended reading, and that is Punctuation for Fiction Writers, also a book, and that's something for punctuation for fiction writers. Okay, so all right, I forgot the semesters. So Twisted Vine is 22 spring. Advanced composition is 21 fall. Writing fiction is 22 fall, and publishing is 22 fall as well. Then we have hours. Each class is 3 hours, and grade 4, very nice. Grade 4 hours, 3, and no grades here. Okay. All right, so this is now the different classes you have shared in your screenshot. And again, what you can do is create a search for these to get a table, right? And I would do that actually here, possibly below the writing class that they belong to, right? So I would say here, those are classes, and I'm going to add a query, and I want items with tag class. And now we have this. Now the thing is that with this query definition, you're going to get every class, right? So, but because we have multiple courses, you probably want to restrict this to the classes that belong to that course, right? Because you want multiple searches and possibly not just a complete list of all the classes. So what we can do is we can configure the class tag and create a link to the concentration, and we're going to make this an instance of a concentration, right? And what this allows us to do is to say, okay, I'm here in writing. No, actually, I'm here. And I'm going to say writing. The writing 512 belongs to the concentration writing, right? And advanced composition also belongs to writing. Writing fiction belongs to writing, and publishing also belongs to writing, right? And so if I now make a Sci 101 something class, I can say, okay, this belongs to psychology, professor is whoever. And now if I go here into the classes, the way we've currently set it up, it's going to show up here as well, right? So psychology 101 something. But I can edit the live query and say, okay, I want all the classes in this instance for this table, but only where the concentration is writing, right? And I click on done, and now the psychology class is gone, right? And I make this a table, and boom, you have really nicely all the things that we want. Great as well. Concentration we don't need. Now you have all the things really nicely laid out, and they dynamically update, right? So that's quite powerful. And now every class, I assume, has a assignment, and that's where we're going to go next. So we have already assignment here. That's what we started with. We have the class. Did I configure this? Nope. So class is going to be an instance of class. Right, and that's what you had. Complete, I want to be a checkbox. And I think then we're already done, right? So those were the books. Let's move assignments here and take 2 or 3 more. Turn in your second story is an assignment. Analyze key nations in terms of craft is also an assignment. Cool. And now I can say, okay, the due date for critique is December 2nd, and the class is writing 545. Turn in your second story. The due date is November 18th. November 18th, and the class is also 545. And machinations is due on November 10th. Nope. November 10th, and the class is also writing 545. Cool. And so now that I have these assignments, I can create 2022 fall course assignments. and click into here, add a query, and I want everything that is an assignment. And now I'm done. I show this as a table, and this is the table that you had originally, but updating dynamically. And again, you could do searches here for and that have a class for writing fiction, right? So you can filter these as you like. And the last was your book list, and that again I would do based on the book tag, right? So books currently aren't configured, so let's configure them how you have set up the table. We have a reading status, we have a Y, we have authors, we have book genres, we have a book format, and we have a publication date. And reading status is fixed options. We have to read, reading, I presume, and finished. The Y is required reading. So this is also fixed options, required reading, or recommended reading. We have authors. Do we have a tag for author yet? Instance. Nope. So let's make who's an author. Michelle McNamara is an author, so this is going to be an author. Book genres is going to be just anything. Book format, we probably can do this as fixed options as well. Audiobook, ebook, paperback, hardcover, and publication date is just going to be a number, I think. All right, so I'll be gone in the dark now has a reading status of finished. The Y is that it was required reading. Author is Michelle McNamara. Book genre is non-fiction. We have autobiography, biography. Whoop. Biography. We have a true crime, and we have history. We have a book format, and you have this. All right. So using a fixed option list here was wrong. I've used so here I only can choose between one, right? So that's something I have to fix. So book format is just anything. Remove reference, and this is going to update in a second, I believe. So here then you can just like here enter these. Publication date is 2019, and punctuation for fiction writers, this is to read. The Y is that it is recommended reading. Author is Rick Talbolt. And author is Scott Gambo, and he's now an author as well. The genres are non-fiction and writing reference, and book format is at ebook, and publication date is 2015. Well, okay, so now we have two books, right? And I can create the book list again. As a query, right? Where I say, okay, I want everything that is a book. And show this as a table, and ta-da! You have everything here. You can say, okay, I want to see the publication date as well. And again, you can narrow this down with more advanced search functionality as well. So this is how I would set up these things as you have described. And as I said, like, you can create the classes here under the writing. You can put the nodes for the individual classes wherever, right? And they will collect automatically here. You can do the same with books, right? So you can then drag the book list here to the left and the fall 2022 course assignments. And because these searches are saved in the form of a table, right, you click into here and ta-da, you have all the course assignments in here. For example, what you can also do is say, okay, I only want to see the assignments that I haven't completed yet, right? And so you say complete and is not checked off, right? And now if I click here, that's going to move away, right? So that keeps it nice and tight. Or you say, okay, I only want to see the ones I've already read. And so that's going to update to those, right? And this is, to me, the power of Tana, right? That you can do these things with just a little bit of modeling of what's going on, and then you get these super powerful searches that just make that workflow incredibly cool in my eyes. So yeah, hopefully that helped, and yeah, was useful. And I'll be in Slack if anything is unclear that I've shown so far, and I guess the team is as well. But this was a couple of minutes, half an hour of modeling a class schedule with assignments type of thing in Tana. And yeah, talk soon, bye. All right, that's it. That was one way of modeling your reading and your classes and related stuff inside Tana. There's obviously a million other ways to do this, but I think as a thought exercise, as a little example of how you can approach this, it might serve you well. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more videos on using Tana in all sorts of ways. If you want to be notified, subscribe below, click the little bell icon, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye bye.